What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Anthony, director, actor, and cinematographer. And today I want to talk about something that a lot of us have on our mind in the filmmaking community. It's how do you build community when you're just starting out, right? How do you find people to make films with? How do you find actors? How do you find crew? How do you find all of these things to make your film happen when you're just starting out? And now more than ever in today's climate, today's industry, it's harder than ever. So I just wanted to give a few tips on things that I've done and our production company, the Seed Collective, have done in order to kind of foster that community and build up a group of really talented artists that we can count on to come in when we need them and just make cool stuff happen. So let's get into it. The first tip I have for building this community, especially in the filmmaking community, is going to be to join an acting class. Now, I know what you're thinking, Anthony, if I'm going to be a director or a cinematographer, why would I join an acting class? And the answer to that is it's going to do two things for you, right? The first thing it's going to do is it's going to give you some practical skills around acting. Now, let's say that you are a director or a cinematographer and you want to film documentaries. Acting is still going to come into that when you have your clients and you need to get them comfortable on screen, right? If you're going to be doing narrative films or short films, right? As a director, it's super beneficial to have some of those basic acting skills down so that you can communicate with your actors. I can't tell you how many times I've been on a set as a performer, and you can clearly tell that the director just doesn't know a lot about acting, right? They may know a ton about cinematography or composition, framing, lighting, whatever it is. But when it comes to talking to you about character development, blocking, anything like that, you can tell that they don't really have a lot of experience in that field. And that's okay. What I'm saying is that if you have those basic skills in acting, whether it's stage presence or blocking or, being in a scene with another person, if you have those basic skills, it makes you just a better director all around and a creative to be able to either communicate those skills or to be able to help those who may not be actors, if you're specifically in the documentary field, to be more comfortable on screen and kind of get the interview questions that you need out of them. On one of our recent projects, we did a documentary for a music group. And during that process, we found that a couple of members in the documentary, they were great performers, but when it came to sharing their story in front of the lens and on camera, it took a lot to get it out of them. And so having those skills as actors, we were able to kind of reach into our bag of tricks and come up with different exercises or different metaphors, different ways to just kind of pull this story out of them and get what we needed on film, even though we weren't dealing with trained actors. So that's the first thing that joining an acting class is going to do. The second thing it's going to do is it's going to introduce you to a lot of your local actors who are looking for projects to participate in, right? If you're in an acting class as an actor, it probably means you're trying to hone your craft, hone your skill, get better, and also make cool work, right? So by joining an acting class, it's just going to introduce you to a giant community of actors who are probably willing to be in your short film, either A, for the footage, or B, for small compensation. Right? Living in New York City, we kind of have the grace as the Seed Collective to be able to just know a large community of actors. And that might not be the case where you're located, right? So joining an acting class is one of the best ways that you can be introduced to these folks and then potentially make connections to have people join you on set for your next short film. The next tip I have is going to be around using the tools that you have at your disposal. And what I mean by this specifically is the word that's on everybody's mind right now, AI, right? You can use AI to help foster a sense of community in the real world. Now, what do I mean by this? Let's say that you're looking for places to meet people, or you're looking for places to post your work online so that you can get more people to see it and hopefully get them to collaborate with you, right? Why not use the tools that we have at our disposal? You can use AI, use a simple chatbot like ChatGPT or Grok and say, hey, where are local filmmakers in my community meeting up? Look on Reddit, look on Facebook, look on all of these sites. And what it'll do is it'll kind of search through those sites and see what the top hits are for places locally that you can find people to hopefully collaborate with. Same thing if you've got a YouTube video or a post. Say, hey, this is my niche. This is kind of my filmmaking community that I want to hit. What are some places on Reddit that I could find this? What are some places on X or Instagram? What are the top hashtags? How can I find other people online that I could potentially collaborate with and send my content over to so that we could link up? And you'd be surprised. There are some threads, there are some hashtags that you wouldn't think that people in the filmmaking community or the creative community in general would be looking at, but they are. And so using AI to quickly kind of decipher what's going on online, it's going to save you a lot of time. You don't have to scroll and read and try to decipher where to put your stuff. But it's also going to give you some ideas and some places to post online or maybe places to go in the real world that you may not have thought of before. So yeah, even though AI is kind of this scary thing, the scary topic right now for a lot of people, why not use it to your advantage to try to get your creative message out there faster and more efficiently? Now, another tip I have for kind of building community in this filmmaking space is one that we've probably already heard a lot, which is to submit to film festivals. Now, I know what you're thinking, that's pretty daunting, right? It is, but what I've learned over the years of going to film festivals or submitting to film festivals is that your work is probably good enough to get into some local film festivals. And eventually, if you keep practicing, you can get into some of the top tier film festivals, right? One of the things that gets in our way as creatives is just thinking that your work is not good enough, right? And what I'll challenge you on that is that art is subjective, right? If you create a piece that you're truly passionate about and you think it looks good and you put in all this work and time and effort, there's probably somebody else out there who thinks it's good too. So why not submit to these film festivals? Now, when I say submitting to film festivals, why would I say that in order to build community? Well, it does a few things. The biggest thing that it's going to do is if you attend this film festival in real life, you get the chance to meet other filmmakers who are actively practicing their craft, right? You get to meet them in person, talk to them, ask them how they shot their film. Hey, what'd you shoot it on? What lenses did you use? And this is going to kind of open the conversation to maybe future collaborations or just keeping in touch, right? I think just from one of the last short film festivals that we went to as a production company, we were able to meet actors. We were able to meet DPs, gaffers, people with, crazy expensive cameras that they just had lying around waiting to do work. And so by meeting these people in person, having a conversation, we were able to kind of get their contact info, reach out with future projects, or at the very least, just follow on Instagram so that we can see what they're doing, they can see what we're doing, and just keep that line of connection open so that in the future, if I do need a gaffer, if I do need a DP, if I need an actor and I remember this person from a film festival, I can reach out to them and say, hey, we've got this project coming up. Do you want to come join us? And because we built that rapport at the film festival and they kind of remember the work that we've done, they're probably more likely to come join us on set. So that's one of the biggest benefits of going to film festivals. Now, let's say that you aren't really confident yet of creating your film. You are just getting started. You don't really know what you're doing yet. You can still use film festivals to build community in the film industry. Now, what do I mean by this? Let's say you just go to a film festival, right? You buy a ticket, you go for the day, watch a couple of cool films. You can still network and talk to people, ask questions, stay curious, right? You can say, hey, look, I'm starting out in the industry, right? I want to know how you guys shot that film. It looked so cool. It looked so good. How did you get your footage to look like that? And you might be surprised that in my experience, people are pretty willing to share the work that they're doing and share kind of tips and tricks with you, just because they want to further the craft of filmmaking or, help you out. So it never hurts to ask, right? If you stay curious and come at it from a sense of, hey, I just want to learn, I want to see what you're doing, you can still network with these people and, at the very least, follow them on Instagram so that when you are ready to create your short film, when you are ready to go out there and make something, you kind of have this Rolodex. Do people even still use Rolodexes? I don't even know. You have this running contact list of people that you've met in person that you could reach out to and ask for help or ask if they want to come work with you on this project that you believe in. And one of the final ways that we found success as a production company, and you might find success in with building community in the filmmaking industry, is just to say yes to everything, right? Now, I know what you're saying. It's really hard to say yes to everything. Like, how do you curate? How do you make sure that it's things that you want to be a part of? And I'm not saying just say yes to every single project that comes your way, right? What I am saying too is not shoehorn yourself into one specific niche if you're a filmmaker. Now, what do I mean by this? Take, for instance, my personal example. We are a film production company who specializes in making art for artists by artists. And the dream for us one day is to produce, high budget Hollywood films. Now, am I going to say yes to only high budget Hollywood film projects right now? Absolutely not, because there's not enough of those coming in the door right now. What I am going to say yes to is doing things like music videos, right? I'm going to do influencer videos for athletes, for bodybuilders, for soccer players, whatever it is. I'm going to do cooking videos. Recently did one of those, and it was a blast. Like, we had so much fun shooting a bowl of soup. I never thought it would be so much fun to film a bowl of soup on a table, but it was a blast. And we learned a little bit on that project, a little bit more about lighting, how to set up product shots, stuff like that. So what I'm getting at here is, even though you have your goal, your dream, your aspiration of doing something like high budget Hollywood films or the next Grammy Award winning music video, say yes to the projects that are coming in now, or at least try to, and what you'll find is that you'll build more connections of people that you'll do projects with in the future. B, you might learn something along the way, right? I never thought we would shoot a cooking video or a music video or, film athletes warming up for their next, game or workout. But those are the projects that we have coming in the door right now. And what I'm finding is that I can use those skills that we're building now to help us in the future when we do have the Hollywood movies coming in. And on top of that, we're building connections, right? Every time we do a project for someone and we do it well, they tell their friends, right? It's a referral. So, we've had projects come through the door because, hey, my friend filmed with you and they had an amazing time. Can I also film with you for my business? Oh my gosh, I saw that short film at a film festival that you guys did for those folks. I have a script. Would you guys do it for my short film as well? And what you'll find is that slowly but surely, you're going to start building this community of other people who are filmmakers, actors, creatives, DPs, gaffers, whatever their role is on set. You're going to start building this community of these people who are ready and willing to help you make your short film when the time is right. So that's just a few tips that we found at Seed Collective that really help us build our filmmaking community. And I'm sure there's more. We're learning every day. So if you have a tip or a trick that you've used to build your filmmaking community, leave a comment down below so that others can kind of benefit from your tips and tricks. And if you like this kind of video, don't forget to like and subscribe down below and click that bell icon so you get notified for future videos. My name's Anthony, and as always, go out there and make something cool. I dare you.